Someone asked me about the term instinct as I use it when I discuss this topic. What is instinct? Well, I will sometimes say, follow your instinct down through all the layers of identity and just keep following it. But of course, it depends on what we mean by instinct. So it's helpful to realize what your instinct isn't. Instinct isn't thoughts. Instinct isn't a collection of thoughts that are defining your experience right now. Instinct isn't beliefs about who you are or about what reality is. In fact, instinct is that part of you that knows there's something beyond the thought and belief constructs that seem to define your experience and often make the experience feel enclosed, overly defined, unnecessarily rigid or tight. That's our instinct that pulls us beyond those constructs, beyond those boundaries of belief. Often when we move beyond these constructs, these constraints of mind, we come in contact with emotion or physical contractions, the sense of there being a gathering of energy somewhere in the body that feels tight or uncomfortable. Or it may feel like an emotion that's stuck or some sort of resistance pattern or a general discomfort we can't define. But it's not something that we're thinking about, it's something we're feeling more directly. Now, if we don't realize that this is how it's supposed to go, we can make an error here and begin to mistrust our own instinct because it brought us into a place of discomfort, of disorientation, confusion. But if we recognize that this is just part of the path as we traverse these layers of identity into deeper and deeper truth, then we have an opportunity to work with these experiences, with these emotions, with these contractions, with these energetic, dualistic knots. If we're willing to investigate with subtle discernment here, we may notice that the contracted areas or the feeling of repression or pushing down, pushing away, or struggle seems to be in this sort of space of awareness. There's the part of us that's aware of it that may be subtly judging it. We don't always notice this. But the fact that we're clearly aware of it and overly focused on it is actually part of the process of contraction. And if we're willing to recognize that the sense of being the awareness in which that contraction exists, or that repression pattern exists, then we have an opportunity to follow our instinct into a more primary experience, an experience of non-division, where even awareness or perception is not apart from the experience of sensation, contraction, emotion. This is to go beyond the experiential dualistic constructs, the roots of the more gross or cognitive dualistic experiences. This takes some patience and compassion for ourselves to work through this. But if we just keep following that instinct deeper and deeper without holding on to anything, without concluding that we're at the final step or the final stage, and just let reality break through deeper and deeper into itself. At some point it will break through all barriers, all constructs, all limitations, all fixations, and then it will be self-propagating. And then we recognize our instinct is and always has been that reality is just this, just as it is. It's not fixated anywhere. It's not anything solid or specific. It's not a concept or a collection of beliefs or concepts. It's not a specific experience. And it knows no distance. It knows no specific direction, but can accommodate every direction. It can move inward and outward at the same time. It can expand and contract at the same time. It can experience vastness and specificity simultaneously, easily accommodating all possibilities. This is where our instinct leads if we just continue to follow it down, 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 through all the layers of identity, and don't make conclusions.